If you struggle with anxiety, get stuck in overthinking, better want to access your intuition, build a relationship with your guides, I have a super simple tool for you. Today, we are talking about the power of ritual and how to find rituals that not only feed your spirit, but help to support you so that you can have more peace and well-being in your life. Rituals, they have been used across time and space. As long as human beings have been humans, we have used rituals to pass down information about our culture, society, as ways to connect to the divine. And more importantly, rituals are a really powerful way that we can actually quiet the ego, that part that gets into fight, flight, overthinking, quiet anxiety that goes into the past, future, and create more of a sense of peace, well-being, connection, connect us to our guides, to our higher self, and it doesn't need to be that complicated. So before I go any further, hi, I'm Sonia. I'm a fourth generation intuitive, and I teach you how to plug back into your innate divine self, your intuition. So if you're new here, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. If you're returning, welcome back. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, that little bell notification, because I release new videos every single week. So as we're talking about rituals are really powerful grounding forces in our world that has so much unpredictability, whether it comes from the news, from just different challenges that we encounter in our day, with just life. Rituals help to give us a sense of well-being, peace, connection, and a sense of control. You know, when we get overwhelmed, it's the ego. That's the part of ourself that really is like the protective shield from your spirit. Our ego is what gets overwhelmed. Our ego is what gets into fight, flight, freeze. Our ego is what gets into anxiety and overthinking. And it's because the ego likes to try and protect us from the world around us. But as we know, you can't protect yourself from what's to come. And also, the moment that we identify and really with our ego and that part, what we do is we self-separate out from life. We say, oh, it's dangerous. I'm gonna self-separate out. So I'm gonna go into my head, into overthinking, into ego defense. But when we're in the ego, it disconnects us from the present moment, disconnects us from our spirit, disconnects us from places of support. And rituals are really wonderful ways that we can give the ego a really simple tool, something that it knows what to look forward to every day so that it can quiet and calm down. It's kind of like when you have a schedule. If you know every night that you're gonna brush your teeth as a ritual, that's one way that you can start to even tell your body we're unwinding and we're going to bed. You might have a simple ritual in the morning of drinking a cup of coffee and reading the newspaper. That's a morning ritual. These are the things that help create consistency and continuity in our lives. So for you, do you have any rituals that you have? For example, one of the rituals that I use is I drink a glass of water every morning before my cup of coffee. That's one simple ritual that I use to connect with my spirit. And we can use rituals with intention. This is my intended purpose, to help connect to my spirit. Those rituals become powerful ways that we can help to better support ourselves, create more self-compassion, create more choice, create more internal space, and very genuinely quiet anxiety, quiet overthinking, quiet that part of our defensive ego. So I'm gonna share some simple rituals. So first of all, a ritual, like I said, can be as simple as your cup of coffee in the morning, but the important part is the intention. I intend, my intention is to have my cup of coffee and be completely present. No phone, no distraction. This is my moment to connect within. And it has to have a few different things. One, it's repetitive. We do the same thing over and over and over and over again. The more repetitive it is, the more that it's literally the exact same thing, the more that it will give our mind something to attach to, something to quiet. It's like, you know, if you give a dog a bone, it's It's kind of like a ritual, what we do with our ego, giving a dog a bone to quiet itself. So first, intention. Second of all, repetition. Third of all, consistency. We have to do it consistently. A ritual isn't a ritual if you do it once and then completely forget. That does not work. So intention. And the big thing too is make sure that your rituals are simple. You can pull rituals from your lineage. For example, I come from a Catholic lineage. Praying the rosary as a prayer is a simple ritual that has been passed down in my family. And the repetitiveness, and we can see that these tools that we use throughout cultures, malas, rosaries, things like that give our brain something to repeat, connect to. Malas have 108 beads. That's where we can pray. So we can use tools like if you want a rosary or a mala, something that comes from your own personal belief system. Those are really wonderful ways because it not only helps us to connect to the lineage of our families, things that have been passed down, but it quiets our mind. So you can use prayer as a really powerful, powerful ritual that we can use. We can use prayer and however you want. One of my mom's prayers that she has taught to my sister and I is, Holy Mother, Father, God, move me and my spirit in the direction of my highest good. That alone as a prayer, as a ritual of turning something over to our higher selves is a beautiful way that we can use to connect. So you can use prayer as a powerful ritual. Another beautiful ritual that I love to use is chanting. Using chanting, because chanting has a few different things and you can use all sorts of different chants. Mantras are really wonderful chants. There are all sorts of different mantras. Mantras are basically ways that we can organize our internal self, even on a cellular level. The mantras give our mind something to do. Mantras are usually repeated 108 times. So you say them over and over again. It gives our ego something to do and allows that place to quiet so we can better connect with our own spirit. And more importantly, what's really interesting is that sound organizes us on a vibrational level. A really cool thing I would encourage you to Google is Google like sand on a plate with sound. And you'll notice what's really cool is every time they put these sound waves through these plates, the sand organizes into different structures, into different shapes. And it's the same thing when you use chanting. So you can go, the Insight Timer app is a great app that has tons of different chants, tons of different ways that you can use to connect. Third of all, you can have it be, like I said, as simple as a cup of coffee or have a morning ritual. For example, my morning ritual, I've said it many different times, is 20 minutes of yoga and some breath work and some meditation. That is my ritual for the morning. And the more that I practice my rituals, the more that I know how to, even when I'm noticing that I'm anxious, that I have a really rich toolkit to build from. So I want to ask you, what are some of the rituals that you've had in your life? Whether they're holiday rituals, we could see, for example, there might be my family, like I said, Christmas tree, angel on top every day. That's a ritual that we have. Rituals give us context, they help to provide depth, and they remind us that we are connected. So don't overlook the power of a simple ritual, even if it's just a cup of coffee, glass of water before your cup of coffee. So tell me, what are your favorite rituals below? What are your favorite tools to connect you to your rituals? I would absolutely love to hear from you. And as always, don't forget to hit subscribe, like that little bell notification, check out my spirit type quiz, check me out on Instagram or TikTok. I share videos all the time, and check out our podcast. It's all related with my mom and my sister talking about what it really means to live an intuitive life. So leave me a comment below, share it with a friend if you liked it. I love to hear from you. I'm sending you all my love. Bye.